Pack Ghost is here with another spooky game, and that game is Ghost Manor for your Atari 2600, part of a double ender I have. So let's go ahead and take Ghost Manor. Be sure I put the right side in my Atari 7800 Pro system and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Woo! Ghost Manor was published by Xonox and carries a copyright year of 1983. It was released as a standalone cartridge and paired with three other Xonox games, Artillery Duel, Spike's Peak, and Chuck Norris Super Kicks, as double enders. According to the manual, it's a stormy night with lightning flashing all around. A scary challenge awaits you in Ghost Manor. Your friend is being held prisoner by Dracula inside the eerie Ghost Manor castle. As night falls, your job is to rescue your friend held prisoner by Dracula and escape from the castle, all before dawn. A friendly ghost will help you at first, but beware of guardian spooks, bats, skulls, scorpions, and the evil chopping mummy. Find crosses and treasure points hidden in caskets and the castle mazes along the way to save your friend. Ghost Manor is a 5-screen action game for one player only and has 4 modes of difficulty selected by the difficulty switches. When both switches are in the B position, it's the easiest mode. When the left is in the A and the right is in the B position, it's medium difficulty. When the left is in B and the right is in the A position, that's the hard difficulty. And when both switches are in the A position, it's the hardest difficulty of them all. At the beginning of the game, you can choose to play as the boy or the girl using the black and white switch on the 2600. When the switch is in the color mode, you play as the girl rescuing the boy. In black and white mode, you play as the boy rescuing the girl. If, like me, you use a 7800, you will play as the girl at all times unless you hold down the pause button, which will turn you into a boy until you let go. On the first screen, you try to touch a ghost or a skeleton, depending on the difficulty level, to earn spears. I found the best way for your touches to count was to run alongside of them. Every touch earns you 1 spear. On the easy level, you need to get 25 spears before moving on. Every time the difficulty level increases, you earn 5 less spears per level, which makes it easier getting past the first screen, but much harder getting past the next screen. The number of spears you have is shown on the top left under your score. In the middle of the screen is an Hourglass Timer. Your game can end on any screen if you run out of time. On the second screen, you must use your collected spears to shoot bats, skulls, scorpions, and a black knight while avoiding a mummy with an axe. After you defeat all of the small guys, you can then shoot the mummy to move on to the next screen. But if the mummy chops you or if you run out of spears before getting the mummy, you will not be able to move on. On the third screen, there are coffins and a moving wall. If you touch the moving wall, you die and you lose the game. The other walls are electrified. Touching them can freeze you. The goal of this level is to find crosses to defeat Dracula. You can search coffins by touching them on the side just right, and if you do, you will hear a sound and will get some treasure points added to your score. A cross will be added to the top right of the screen if you find one in one of the coffins. On higher difficulties, the wall may move faster, and you might not have a lamp to light your way, meaning you can only see when the lightning flashes. When you're ready to move on, climb up the stairs. The fourth screen plays just like the previous screen, with the main goal to find another cross in one of the coffins. You can return to the third screen using the top staircase or face Dracula by going through the bottom staircase. On the fifth screen, you face Dracula himself while your friend awaits to be rescued in a prison above. When you reach this screen, you get 1 cross added to your inventory, with a maximum possibility of having 3 crosses if you found one in each of the previous floors. Your goal is to force Dracula into one of the 2 prisons on either side of the top of the room. To do so, you must get under him and press the button to activate the crosses to repel him. But your cross power is limited based on how many crosses you have, and if he ever touches you, it's game over. You also have to get him in the prison just right, or he may simply disappear into the top wall waiting to come back. If you do successfully imprison him, your friend will be freed, and you will need to lead them to the staircase and out before time expires to win the game. Point-wise, you earn various amounts of points for defeating all the various bad guys on the second screen, reaching new levels, touching coffins just right, and imprisoning Dracula. You can earn more points at the higher difficulty levels and bonus points for any crosses or time remaining you have left when you win the game. Graphically speaking, while some of the screens are basic, overall I think the game looks pretty good for a 2600 title. I like the big characters on the first screen, as well as the diverse characters on the second, especially the mummy, which to me looks more like an ogre, but I really like the animation of his mouth. Sound and music wise, you have a mix of both basic, sometimes irritating, and good sounds, but I did like the music that occurs before the game and after the game ends, even if the opening theme does get cut off too early. Family friendly wise, of course, you have a bunch of creepy enemies and the mummy that can chop you with his axe, but there is no blood in the game, and it feels like it was geared towards kids. My guess is it would get an E10 and up rating if released today, simply because you can get axed by the mummified ogre. At the time I researched on eBay, including shipping, loose double-ender copies with Spike's Peak were selling for $8 to $17. One complete double-ender with Spike's Peak sold for $19, and one new standalone cartridge sold for $235. So what did I think of Ghost Manor? This one is a mixed bag of a game with both good and bad qualities. Overall, it feels like it was a little rushed and needs a little bit more polish. Touching the coffins is way too complicated than it should be, as is forcing Dracula into the prison. Also, there were times where it looked like I was touching the ghost on the first screen, but it didn't register. And this is a tough game, even on the easy setting, but there's a lot I like about the game as well, including being able to play as a boy or a girl, having 5 different screens, the large characters at the beginning, and the fact that this is an early 2600 game you can actually beat. So while it's not perfect, I overall had a good time with the game and could see myself playing it again. So where am I going to rank Ghost Manor? I'm looking somewhere in the top 60. I like Ghost Manor a little bit more than Crossbow at 59, but I do like Name This Game more at 58. So out of the 139 games I've now ranked on the 2600, Ghost Manor is going to be haunting the 59 position. Ghost Manor is the best Xonox game I've played so far. So what do you think of the game? Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Also feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons and follow me both on the Facebook or the Twitter. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. At this time, I'd like to thank the extraordinary Joe for supporting the show through Patreon. Thank you, Joe. If you appreciate the work I do, please consider joining the League of Extraordinary Patreon Supporters by signing up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, and the next time you see a ghost in a cemetery, be sure to chase it for spears. Or maybe not. That might not work in real life.